Hey friends, welcome back to Big Nate's Whiskey Lounge. I am Nate. Today we're going to do a video that I think the WhiskeyTube community deserves. Other people have done it and that's fine, but I hadn't done it yet. I believe to date I hadn't done very many videos about whiskeys that I disliked. We discovered during my Uncle Nearest that I wasn't a big fan of those. However, we're about to get into a bottle that in my opinion is one of my least favorite whiskeys, probably in my top 3 of least favorite whiskeys that I've ever had. And it partly is why I dislike it so much is because of what it is, how much I paid for it, and of course how much it tastes, or what it tastes like. And that is going to be Orphan Barrell Copper Tongue. Now this is a 16-year-old cask strength bourbon whiskey. Now this comes from the Dickel distillery. It says distilled and bottled in Tullahoma, which is where Dickel is. Now what disappoints me is one, it's Dickel. I'm not a huge fan of Dickel. Now I have found some Dickel products that I'm okay with. However, I do get the mineraliness that a lot of people get, and I'm just not a fan of that. So what we have is 16-year-old Dickel, and then it's cask strength, but it's only 89.8 proof, 44.9% ABV. A cask strength at under 45% alcohol. 90 proof is in some people's minds an entry-level whiskey proof, but we have a cask strength 16-year-old at less than 45%. Come on, Dickel. A little bit of gripe about that. Now, when I saw this in the store, I forgot what it was. I saw this in the store, ooh, Orphan Barrell, Copper Tongue. I've seen people do that. I think I bought this a week or so after Dan and Sean from Bourbon Junkies did their review on it. Now, they did say what it was. I had just forgotten. I went in, I knew this was sourced, so I was like, oh, it must be MGP. I didn't read the bottle. I just knew a little bit about what it was, and I was like, oh, I gotta grab that. And I paid $170 for this. To date, this is the third most I've ever paid for a whiskey, and it's the second most I've ever paid for a bourbon. Because of that, I was upset over what I got. I forgot that it was Dickel and not MGP, because I was like, great, 16-year-old MGP. You don't get that anymore. I was wrong. So this is going to be 16-year-old Dickel product. Let's give this a shot. This is going to be the second time having it. Maybe it's had a little bit of time to breathe, and maybe I won't dislike it as much. So let's go. Ooh, no. There's a weird funk. I don't dislike it as much the longer I'm doing it, but the first hit was just weird. Like mold. Not bad color on it. We know it's 16 years old. A little bit of oak, a little bit of caramel. But there's just an overlying funk note that's just weird. Alright, let's give this a try. Sorry, the cough was not because of the whiskey. I don't breathe and drink properly. I don't hate that as much as I did the first time. That is vanilla frosting. Straight up vanilla frosting. But not, it's almost as if you reduced it to a liquid and then dropped it on your tongue. So it's almost like vanilla extract or something like that. Which, by the way, has beaver butts in it. I'll be honest with you, I don't dislike it as much as I did the first time, to the point where I don't dislike it at all anymore. It's weird, it's different. It just needed to open up a little bit. And it's been opened up for a while. I haven't touched it in over 6 months. Interesting. That funk on the funk from the nose to the taste. I don't dislike that as much. Now it could be So to date, I've only had 3 Dickel products. I've had the 12 recipe. I thought it was 12 year. It's not. It's the number 12 recipe. And then I had this. I wasn't a fan of them. I had a buddy of mine share a pour of me of Dickel bottled in bond. I did not dislike that. I actually rather liked that. And so I've been more in the mood to try Dickel products. This is unique, this is different. Still don't like how much I paid for it. Still don't like the fact that it is cask strength at under 45%. But I gotta say, I don't hate it anymore. It opened up. It didn't get bad. Almost, it's like a piece of vanilla cake. I'm getting cakey notes in it too. Very sweet. Very, very sweet. Recently I've been able to pick up the sweetness note. I think for a while I hadn't been able to push through the alcohol to sweetness. I've been able to pick up oak and fruitiness and things like that, and floral, but I hadn't identified as straight up sugar sweet. The last couple of videos I've done, I've been able to do that, so I'm developing, and you're watching, and I appreciate you being along for that. All right, so that's Orphan Barrell Copper Tongue. I'm okay with it now. Thanks for commenting and subscribing. If you've had Orphan Barrell and you dislike it, tell me what you disliked about it, and also if you've tried it since you disliked it the first time. If you like it, tell me what you do like about it. Either way, I'm here, and I'll look forward to see you next time. Cheers.